Hello and welcome to beatingdyslexia.com. In this video I'm going to show you a mind management technique that can help you to become a more organised person. Now, being disorganised is a very common characteristic among dyslexic people. I myself used to be completely disorganised before I started using this technique, but now I'm very good at getting things done quickly and efficiently. The best thing about this technique is that you can apply it to almost anything you do. It's basically about ordering your thoughts and actions in the most efficient way possible. You start with a clearly defined end result and then break the task down into manageable chunks. Before we start though, you may be asking yourself, why does dyslexia seem to make people more disorganised? Well, one possible answer for this may be related to the different way it is claimed that dyslexic people view the world. The theory is non-dyslexic people prefer to view the world sequentially, learning and doing things in sequence, taking one thing at a time. However, it is thought that dyslexic people prefer a holistic view of the world. This means the big picture or overview way of thinking about things. This may be why it is claimed that dyslexic people have a unique ability to see things from different perspectives. Preferring a holistic view of the world may also mean that dyslexic people are less interested in fine detail and organisation. This may be why some dyslexic people appear to be more disorganised. Okay, let's get stuck into the mind management technique then. The great thing about this is that you can literally apply it to almost anything you do. From tidying your room to rebuilding a car engine. From packing a suitcase to writing an essay. But to show you how it works, I'm going to use a very simple example. Let's imagine that I'm throwing a dinner party for 20 people. Now remember, the idea of the dinner party is not important. It is the technique that I use to organise the dinner party that you should be thinking about. Fundamentally, all you have to do to use this technique is to ask yourself questions. The first and most important question that you must always start with is, what is the end result going to be? What are you trying to achieve? It is so important to have a clear idea of the end result in your mind from the start, so you know what you're working towards. For my dinner party then, the end result is going to be for the guests to enjoy the food and have a fun and entertaining night. Now I've got the end result clearly defined, I can work backwards from there by breaking it down into the main goals that I need to work towards in order to achieve the end result. So for my dinner party then, I'm going to break the end result down into two main goals. Number 1, feeding the guests. Number 2, making sure the guests have a good time. From there, I simply keep asking myself questions in order to break the problem down even further. For example, to achieve my first main goal, I need to ask myself a variety of questions. How am I going to feed my guests? Is it going to be a sit-down meal or a buffet? What am I going to feed my guests? What food do I already have in the kitchen? And what do I need to buy from the shops? Okay, but what about the other main goal then? Making sure the guests have a good time. Well, generally a good party needs two things, music and alcohol. But again, I need to keep asking myself questions to break the problem down even further. For example, what type of music will my guests like? What type of drinks should I buy? How much drink should I buy? Once I've asked myself all the relevant questions I can think of, the next step is to write 2 task lists, one for each of the main goals. Okay, task list number 1 then, to achieve the main goal of feeding the guests. Number 1. Make a final decision on what I'm going to cook. Number 2. Check the kitchen to see what I already have. Number 3. Write the shopping list. Number 4. Go to the shops. Number 5. Lay the table. And number 6. Cook the food. Now I need to write the second task list to achieve the other main goal, making sure the guests have a good time. Number 1. Buy loads of beer and wine. Number 2. Get my friend Gary to come over with his karaoke machine. And number 3. Bring my CD collection down to the front room. Now I need to consider what is the most efficient way to get all these jobs done. So I look at my 2 task lists and again start to ask myself questions. What is the fastest, cheapest, quickest way to get everything done? For example, I could get my mate Gary to bring his CDs over. He has a larger collection and it will save me time. All I need to do now is to put a number by the side of each task to show which order I'm going to do them in. This should obviously be the most efficient order possible. Then I simply do them one by one and I'm done. To sum up then, this mind management technique is a great example of how to structure a task by breaking it down into small pieces that are easy to manage. As you've probably noticed by now, this technique is all about asking yourself questions so that you can structure your thoughts into a logical order. This goes to show that by communicating with yourself, you can solve problems.